And welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. It is Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us. You may be watching us on Charter Channel 8. If you are, that's fantastic. But if for some reason you can't catch us on Charter Channel 8, we have all sorts of opportunities for you to see us on the internet. One of them includes YouTube as well as blip.tv. Another great way to find us right here on the Owatonna Today Show is through Facebook. If you like us on Facebook, what Leanne does is she uploads this show to the Facebook page every weekday that it happens. That's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And you will have that put right to your page. And the nice thing about it is if you do like us on Facebook, you can be entered to win a pair of tickets to the Owatonna Steele County Blades home game. It's a lot of fun for you and your family, so make sure you do that. We're always looking for new ideas. If you've got something you'd like to see right here on the Owatonna Today Show, maybe an event coming up, something that you enjoy that you'd like to see and share with others, why don't you give us an email at owatonnatoday@charter.net, or you can call Leanne at 390-5751 and let us know what you'd like to see on the show. After all, it is the Owatonna Today Show, your show. We're going to be right back. We have Mike Eckers as well as Karen Duncan. Mike is an author, and you've probably seen him around town a little bit, and Karen is a new judge right here in Steele County, so stick with us.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Juvenile fire setters is a big problem in the city of Owatonna. If you have any problems with juveniles or young adults setting fires within your homes or your community, please get in contact with the Owatonna Fire Department, and we can help assist you with rectifying the problems with the juvenile fire setter. This is a public service information from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Hi, we're Mark and Becky Stevens of the Owatonna Pizza Ranch.
And we support the Owatonna Today Show.
And welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show. I am Shelley, and I have with me Karen Duncan. She's the Third Judicial District Steele County Judge-ish.
That's right.
Is that close?
Yes.
But this is a new position for you.
That's right.
And so while you've been in the area for a while, this is going to be a brand new job, or you've never done anything like this before, have you?
The closest thing has been judging mock trial.
Well, that's at least a start. At least you have a little bit of it. So, Karen, we need to know more about you. So I'd love for you to start with a little bit about your background, where you went to school, where you're from, and that kind of thing. And let's take you on the journey of how you became a judge.
I'm going to speed you through the journey. I grew up on a farm in south central Minnesota and started out at Carleton College in Northfield. Dropped out to become a radio disc jockey.
I did that too.
Yeah, which was a great learning experience. And while I was out learning everything there is to know about radio during the crazy rock and roll days, I decided that there were probably some better ways that I could put my skills to use. So I ended up going back to school. I finished my undergrad at the University of Minnesota, went on to law school at the University of Minnesota, and then I became a judicial law clerk. So for a year, I saw close at hand what judges did.
What does a law clerk do?
Helps the judge.
So if they need information on a previous case or anything, whatever, you just go and get that information, bring it to them so they can peruse it, that kind of stuff?
Sometimes you'll go through a thick file and make a chart of what's gone on in the past in the file, legal research, doing some preliminary drafting. Putting together jury instructions was always something that was kind of fun to do. And then just learning at the hand of the judge.
So when you did that, when you worked for that judge, did you ever envision yourself becoming a judge someday?
I think every young lawyer, to be honest, thinks that they're going to be a judge one day. And of course, the judges that we have around here, being experienced judges, make it look really easy. So for young lawyers, I can do that.
You just sit up there and talk.
Yeah, now that I've been around the legal circuit for a longer period of time, I appreciate how difficult the work is. But I'm looking forward to that challenge.
Okay, so you worked for the judge. Then what did you do from after that?
Then I was a prosecutor in Rice County and a prosecutor in Olmsted County, where I specialized in prosecuting crimes against people. Then I moved to Iowa, got married, was a prosecutor down there, did all sorts of things in the county I worked in Iowa. Represented the county on tax appeals. I did a personnel handbook for the county, taught the department heads on how to follow through on the personnel policies, and did criminal prosecution and that type of thing.
So that sounds like a very intense time. What kind of skills did you come away with in that you think might help you as you move forward?
One of the things I learned about practicing law in Iowa is that it's a more user-friendly place than it was when I was practicing in Olmsted County, that the judges were very formal, but outside of the courtroom, they were almost in a parent role with young attorneys. They wanted to make sure that we learned from the mistakes that we were making in court. They wanted to make sure that we were having good relationships with each other outside of the courtroom so we can be on opposite sides in the courtroom, but outside of the courtroom we should always be working together to promote the practice of law and to promote collegiality between lawyers.
It sounds like you have some real good mentors that you can also follow as you move forward.
Absolutely. And as the court system now is so overloaded with cases, people get tense, people get tired, sometimes not their best side is what they show in court. And I think those values that I learned, particularly in Iowa, are going to be important in helping people do good, solid work in the courtroom.
That's exciting. So from Iowa, then where did you go?
Then we moved to Owatonna, Minnesota. Yes, my husband's an only child. I come from a family of 6 kids, and his family situation was such that he lost both of his parents, and so we moved back to Minnesota so that we could be closer to my family and that our kids could get to know their remaining grandparents. And it's been a wonderful place to live.
So you practiced law here for a while?
Yes.
And what did you do when you were here?
Well, I was a sole practitioner. I was on Cedar Avenue North, not too far down from the kitchen. And I did criminal defense, but I also did a lot of family work. Did that for about a year. I picked up a contract with the public defenders because they had some various things going on. They were short-staffed. They needed somebody who could come in and just pick up a bunch of cases and take care of it. And after a year of doing that, then I got hired as a regular full-time public defender. Became a managing attorney after that, and then became chief public defender, which is the job I hold right now.
Okay, and you're going to be transitioning into this new position of judge. And talk about that process a little bit, going from sitting on one side of the courtroom to another one. Talk a little bit about that process and what that means.
I'm really excited about making that shift.
Yeah.
One of the things that's important when you're chief public defender is that you can handle administrative things and you can handle personnel issues. And as a natural byproduct of that, you kind of get farther and farther away from the law, which has been really interesting and a great way for me to expand my skill set. But now I'm really looking forward to being back practicing law in a sense, you know, being fully immersed in the law every day, Monday through Friday, and whenever I need to be on weekends as well. So part of the process right now is just trying to leave a good transition plan for the folks in my agency, and then I'm at the same time reading up on some judicial materials, and I need to hire a court reporter here within the next couple of weeks because I'll be starting March 1st, and taking a few days off.
And breathing a little bit.
Yes.
We talked a little bit about the theater that a courtroom is, and we mentioned one of the few places really in our society where there's this very deep sense of decorum and what happens. And so talk to me a little bit about you. This is the place you've been very comfortable in. You've been in courtrooms, and now you're on the flip side of it, where as before you were standing in honor of the judge and the position they held, now you're going to be that person stepping in and having people stand in honor of you. Talk a little bit about that and what that means for our society in the court system of having still that sense of decorum in that one place.
I think that's the difficulty, probably the largest difficulty of the job, because you do want to maintain that formal respect for the law and the process, because ultimately that's our society's respect for the individual person and making sure that due process is afforded. And yet you have to be able to control the courtroom. You can't let people just come in and run roughshod. So the difficulty, I think, is trying to find that balance of behaving in a way that you do engender that respect, but also allowing people who are coming before the court, always in the tensest of circumstances, allow them an opportunity to breathe so that they can present their case. It's so hard for people because they're coming into the environment that's completely foreign, and sometimes even the language that we use seems foreign to people, and yet they want to be able to make their case. So I think the decorum is important, but also that user-friendly piece of it somehow needs to melt together.
Well, I love that you say that, because I think I would imagine, for a lawyer, it's the day in the day out. You see this, you do this, you come in the court every day. It's sometimes, I think, could become numbing in a way. But like you say, every person who walks in there, it's a life-changing moment that's happening for them. Whatever it is, even if it's a small monetary thing, it could be a child, it could be anything, life-altering moment. And to take that serious, I really think that's a great thing for you to do. And I appreciate that you do have that. So I guess the question I have for you now is, what else do you have to do to be a judge?
You have to be a lawyer in good standing,
Yep.
and then you have to apply for the position, and then there's a screening committee that's made up of partly lawyers and partly citizens at large. They decide who's going to be interviewed by the Judicial Selection Commission, and then they forward 3 names to the governor, and then the governor sits down and interviews the 3 finalists along with a member of his staff and anyone else he chooses to have in the interviews.
Go talking with the governor, because I wouldn't know.
Well, the governor is a very warm and intelligent and, just a hardworking person. He seems to me to be just like somebody that I would have grown up with in terms of being just earnest and one-on-one, so it wasn't difficult to talk to him at all.
Well, so what kind of cases will you be handling here in Steele County?
In Steele County, both judges do everything, and so Judge Butel and I will carve out any specifics as we move forward, but the way the calendar is set up right now, I'll be doing everything. And
so when you mentioned that a large majority of your work was criminal prosecution, so it sounds like there might be a bit of learning curve in some of the other areas that you're going to be working on.
Yes, I have done family law. I have touched other areas of the law, but there will be a lot of things that I need to kind of bone up on over the next couple of weeks to make sure I can do a good job.
Yeah, so it's exciting. Well, I thank you for your time, and I know you're going to do a good job. I can just tell.
Thank you.
And what I'm excited for is to hear from you again. Maybe we can come back in a year or so and see how things are going. What's the one thing you're most excited about as you look forward?
Oh, wow. Everything. It's all new. It's wonderful.
My gavel! I can't get my gavel. That would be me. I'm sad. Okay, well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you, and good luck with your new thing. We'll be right back with the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, this is Dave Efforts with TPS Insurance, and we are proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
I needed more than just another dead-end job. I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
With the kids off to college, I decided it was time for me to go back to work and express myself.
Express got me in touch with some really great companies. Now, I'm on my way to a great career.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Hello, I'm Amy Baker, introducing you to Owatonna's newest healthcare facility, Coda Living Community. Coda, which means friend in the Dakota Indian language, is a spacious, welcoming place where loved ones, friends, and neighbors receive personalized short-term and long-term health care tailored to their unique needs. Located on the campus of the Owatonna Hospital and Mayo Clinic, Coda Living Community will open its doors in February. Coda Living Community is affiliated with the Benedictine Health System. For more information, please call me at 507-446-4946.
Hi, I'm Doug Johnson with the Owatonna Business Incubator. We're here to help small businesses start and to grow. We're a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show. We're trying to get all Mike's props ready. You're very difficult to work with.
I'm terrible.
This is Mike Eckers. He's a little
Hi,
bit off.
Warren Abraham.
You've been in Owatonna for how many years now?
22?
For a
yeah,
while.
23.
You've been around for a while. And you actually have written 5 books, is that correct?
5. My
Five
6th
books.
one is due out now.
So he's gonna have a release party?
Eventually,
Sweet,
probably
yes.
sometime in March, I suppose.
Well, first of all, let's start with your history. Let's talk a
Sure.
little bit about you and where you're from and kind of how you came to Owatonna.
Well, I grew up in Minnesota, up in St. Louis Park. So I'm a Metro kid originally. And then joined the military right out of high school in the early 70s and spent about 20 years in San Diego. Came back and finished up a career in the Postal Service, including some time here in Owatonna as a supervisor and a carrier. Retired 2.5 years ago, although I don't use the word retired because most people, you know, they take that to mean, oh, you can help me with this.
No.
And so now I write and speak and travel and do research and
Let's
just have
talk
kind
about
of fun.
that journey. When did you first start? You probably had a love for history your entire life.
All my life.
Because is not something you all of a sudden wake up with.
Right.
But what made you decide that you needed to start writing?
I would wake up in the middle of the night and find words on my pillow.
Are you kidding?
No. So my head was leaking words, and to avoid exploding.
And your wife was getting very frustrated because those are hard to get out in the
right,
laundry.
That's right.
Yes.
Tide doesn't do it. Honestly, I just felt I would go and speak in schools, and some friends said that I should put my stories down on paper. So I began writing, and it took me about 2 weeks to write a half a novel, which I put away for a number of years and then pulled out later and finished and published that one. That was called Northern Colors, and that was in 2009, and I've not looked back.
And so are all of your books, they're all historically based, but are they fiction?
All but one are fiction, well, all but two. I have a real short little stocking stuffer for postal employees called Losing Your Zip.
I hate it when that happens.
If you've read it, you'd understand why it's called Losing. But normally mostly what I write is historical fiction. So it's historically accurate, but you add a character.
Within the
exactly
drama of history.
Right, exactly. And I base most or all of my stories on family members, people in my
that's
past.
Interesting. So you've not only done some historical research about what's going on in the world, but in your own family to figure out that these people fit into those moments.
Correct.
Let's talk about that. What was the first book you wrote?
Well, it was called Northern Colors, and it was based on. I had a great-great-grandfather who fought in the Civil War for the state of Iowa. Since I'm living in Minnesota, I had him fighting for the 2nd Minnesota.
Okay.
Followed that up with a nonfiction piece called The Boys of Wasioja, which is about 68 men from Dodge County, right next door, and included 12 students from the seminary at Wasioja. And since then, I've written 3 more historical fiction, one on the Civil War, one on World War II, and now my newest one will be on World War I, but we'll talk about the World War II one.
Because of what's happening. You've got actually, you're working with the Steele County Historical Society, and you're going to be, I believe, this Thursday, tomorrow, you're going to be talking there about your book a little bit. And so who's invited to this event, and who would you hope to see?
Anyone can come. For Historical Society members, it's free. It's $2 for anyone else. I can't promise I'll be as entertaining as some movies. I promise I won't go as long as most. Oh, definitely, for $2, absolutely. And I'll be speaking on the 8th Air Force, which was the largest of 16 air forces that the United States had during World War II. One of the things I like about the 8th Air Force is the scope and the numbers of it. The 8th Air Force had 200,000 members during the war. They actually suffered more deaths than all of the Marine Corps fighting the Japanese. That's one Air Force. So it was a big deal.
Talk to me a little bit about your process of going through and doing the research. I'm guessing some of it is online, but I'm imagining a lot of this has to be in person.
Probably my 2 largest sources would be online, but then the second one would be, for example, the Minnesota Historical Society, the MHS, and the museum, and the research facilities that they have there. For World War II, it's also interesting because there's a wealth of information in veterans who are still alive. So you can get those personal stories and add the personal touches. Most of my book, Colors in the Air, is based on my parents themselves. My father was a bombardier in the 8th Air Force, was captured, spent 9 months as a prisoner of war. So there's a wealth of information there that I gleaned from him.
And so you have a few things here, some props we talked about. Of course, there's the book that you have, but tell me a little bit about the jacket and the hat that you have on the table today.
Well, the bomber jacket is an example of what air crew would have worn. It's made out of a sheep.
Okay.
Basically,
it looks very warm.
It is very warm. The beauty of it is you don't get hot in it. Have you ever seen a sheep sweat?
No.
See?
Of course, I haven't hung out with a lot of sheep either.
Okay. Only when the farmer's around do they.
Oh no, Mike.
And the hat, sorry, the hat was my father's. That was one of the ones that he flew, and it actually made the trip over Germany a couple of times.
Wow. And the portrait on the picture.
That would be my parents' wedding photo.
Wow.
So their wedding picture adorns the front of the book. I couldn't think of anything more appropriate.
No. Are they still alive
No.
at this point? So this is more of an honor of their memory.
It really is, and I, in a way, I purposefully did that. I could have written this as my first book, but I chose not to, kind of in deference, to honor them. Didn't want to embarrass them, although there's nothing embarrassing really in the book.
Some people, the attention just embarrasses
Right,
them. Yeah.
and that would have been my father.
Okay.
That would have bothered him.
Yeah.
So
you tell me the storyline of the book, The Colors in the Air, a little bit.
Well, it's about a couple that date in high school. Back in the days when you would go to Minneapolis to a church to watch the Andrews sisters sing because they grew up at the same time. And so Minneapolis has been a school of music for a long time. But they were high school sweethearts. My father went to Dunwoody Institute. The war began. He decided he didn't want to be in the infantry like so many generations before him had been. So he elected to try the Air Corps and went into pilot school. Was going through pilot training when the Army Air Forces decided they had enough pilots, so they took a number of people, even good candidates. They took them and transferred them over to bombardier or navigator school. So my dad became a bombardier and flew a number of missions and then got shot down, captured, spent 9 months as a POW. In the meantime, my mother was not just sitting at home tending a victory garden, although that was important. She got a job working with the Manpower Commission, kind of the forerunner of the EEO, and her job at 20 years of age was to go into factories and convince factory owners that they should hire women and blacks. And it was not a popular thing.
Did she travel around the state of Minnesota? Or where
she travels all around the country because she gets hooked up with some Royal Air Force officers who are trying to gain access to American industry through Lend-Lease and all that, right? And so she became their liaison with the American industry.
So she traveled all over the country.
She really did. She had.
So your dad went around the world and your mom went around the country.
Yes, and they hooked up again in Boston at the end of the war when my dad was repatriated as a released POW, and that's probably the best part of the book is the end.
It's talking about their reuniting.
Right.
So when you go to talk to people and when you've written these books, what are you hoping people will come away with? What is the impact you hope to have?
Well, I think primarily is to honor what has been called America's greatest generation. A number of 5 or 6 years ago, World War II veterans were dying at a rate of about 1,000 a day around the world. And although that rate has slowed down, it's because the pool is smaller. I would imagine in 5 or 10 years you're going to see some of the very last passing away, and that's too bad. So I enjoy going actually to senior communities, 55 plus places where I fit in with the gray hair and everything. And
it's the glasses. It's not the gray hair. It's the glasses.
and I speak on World War II, and I honor veterans everywhere I go because I think veterans are worthy of honor.
And so that's something you hope to. People, when they come away, they also have that same feeling of honor.
Right.
And so you also were in the military?
Yes, I spent 4 years in the Navy, not doing an awful lot, right at the end of Vietnam.
Okay. So. And do you have children?
I do. I have 3 kids. I have 1 Indian and 2 Huskies. So that's how long I've been here.
And have any of them gone into the military?
Yes. My youngest son just commissioned in December as an ensign in the Navy, so he's an officer. He'll be going to nuclear propulsion school and serving on submarines in the future.
So it looks like you may have a story for the future.
Oh, I've got 12 books lined up that follow my family from the American Revolution to today.
So how can people, if they would like a copy of this book, how can they get that from you?
The easiest way is to go to Amazon.com and you can search my name and all of my books are listed.
Or come on Thursday.
Or I live here in town up on the northeast corner.
So it's at 7 p.m. at the Historical Society this Thursday. Yeah. Come check out Mike and his stories and find out a little bit more about the history in Steele County. We'll be right back right here on the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, Warren Abraham, Abraham Consulting Technologies, your one-stop technology shop. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty.
And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clarebridge of Owatonna.
And we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. I want to give you a few quick announcements for your area. The Steele County Clothesline is having their 15th annual fundraiser this Saturday, February 9th. It's at the Owatonna Holiday Inn. Tickets are $10 in advance or $15 at the door. The event starts at 5 p.m. with the silent auction, then a live auction will follow. There are burger baskets available and a cash bar. The band is the Tuition Daddies, and this is their big fundraiser. So the Clothesline has done a lot of great things for the Owatonna area. So please go and have some fun with them and help them continue their 50 years of serving the Steele County area. They would like the Riverbend Nature Center would like you to join them on Saturday, February 23rd, from 1 to 4 for a nature writing workshop by writer and poet Kaiten Schwen. And I probably said that wrong, I'm sorry. During the workshop, they're going to look at the use of environmental writers and the wildlife surrounding us as inspiration. And they'd love for you to join. The cost of the workshop is $15 for members and $20 for non-members. It is open to anyone age 15 and up. And you can, again, get more information from the Riverbend Nature Center at rbnc.org, or you can call them at 332-7151 for more information. And it's a weekend for women. Yay! Let your light shine out of the darkness and into this wonderful light. It's at the Good Shepherd Lutheran Church, Owatonna, in Owatonna, March 1st and 2nd. It's going to be an opportunity for women to hear Jen Alexander. She's a speaker, singer, and songwriter who lives her Christian faith. She will speak and talking about stories and songs in concert. That's how she's going to lead the whole entire weekend. The cost is $25. It does include the conference materials, breakfast, lunch, breakout sessions. The tickets are available at the Good Shepherd Church or at Old Town Bagels. That is, again, Friday, March 1st from 7 to 9:30 p.m. and Saturday, March 2nd from 8:30 to 4 p.m. And the Owatonna Foundation scholarships are coming up, and the deadline for that is April 10th. So if you know anyone who is looking to have a career in the technical world, wanting to go to a technical school, this is the opportunity for you. It's $15,000 that are available. The Owatonna Foundation is looking to assist students who will be attending the non-4-year programs such as technical or community colleges. And the applications must be turned in by must be turned in by a June 2013 graduate of Owatonna High School, El Shaddai Private School, or Owatonna Christian School. So if you have a senior in any one of those schools, this is the opportunity for you. And a parent or guardian of the applicant must be in Steele County. And you can submit them no later than Wednesday, April 10th. If you want more information, please talk to the Owatonna High School Career Center or call Jill Holmes at 455-3059. And the Meals of Hope, a community meal for anyone that may need it, is Sunday evenings from 5 to 6:30 at Trinity Lutheran Church. If you'd like more information about this, it's 451-5240. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on Friday when we talk about bullying. Don't do it. See you then.